Hi everyone, and welcome to our Christmas card class. My name is Lillian Kemp, and I'm with Stamper's Niche, an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, coming to you from Alberta, Canada. Now, normally I would be offering Christmas card classes in my home. We're sort of like Stamp-A-Stacks, and we would be having Christmas in August, and Christmas in September, and Christmas in November, and everybody, a lot of people love taking part. So I've had a few people say, what are we going to do this year, Lillian? Are you going to offer Christmas card classes? So I thought about it and saw what some other demonstrators are doing, because we can't meet in the home right now. So I decided to do this. So what I'm going to do is offer some free Christmas card classes, so you can use your own supplies and make the projects that I'm showing you. So therefore I'm keeping them fairly simple, and then you can step them up if you want. But then if you want the card kit, which is what many people do want, is you just need to place an order with me before Monday evening, or end of the day Monday, and I will actually mail you the card kit. So that's how it's going to work. So let's get down to my desk and get started. And so glad to see so many of you here. Now let's see, let's get down to my desk. Oh, looking good. Well, thank you, Donna. This was the closest thing I could find to a Christmas sweater. So at least it was the right color. And I hope some of you've got some Christmas music playing quietly in the background, that kind of thing. It's got to be good. Let's just see. Let's move this in a smidge. Hi, everyone. So glad to see you here. And I've got to just find this down here. There we go. We have found it. Facebook's made it so I have to search. So okay, what I see in my camera and what you see on the computer also doesn't necessarily match up. So it's a good thing that I can look there and have a look-see. Okay, and one more thing to do. There we go. So the first card I'm going to show you is how to make this one here. So you could change the colors up and do all kinds of things, and I've even got a little matching envelope. So what you would get if you had the kit, obviously I cannot stamp for you or send ink in the mail or your adhesive. So you would supply the stamps, ink, and adhesive, but I would give you an envelope with all these goodies inside. I will also email you a PDF, not a PDF, it's more of a project sheet with the list of what I'm using as well as the measurements. So the first thing we're going to do, this is thick basic white, and it's a regular card base. So 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4, like that. So we'll get that set right off the bat. And then another thing you would find in your kit is a piece of basic white that is 4 by 5 1/4, so it's your next layer. And I will have embossed it for you using the Merry Melody 3D embossing folder. So it's got all these wonderful music notes on it. In case you're wondering, if you are musical and want to play this music, it is joy to the world. But I have many family members who are musical, and I'm using this for birthday cards and all kinds of things for them. So that is what is the next thing that you will find. And eventually we're going to layer it right on the card front, but we're going to check out what else is in here. So you're going to find these 2 pieces of paper, and you will stamp your words on this basic white sheet and then layer it on the Sahara sand sheet and then layer it on there. So that's that. You will find this die cut star, and that die cut star is from the Christmas Trimmings die set. Now I offered a class on this bundle here a while back. It's still available in video and PDF format. So if that's something you're interested in, check out my classes that I have, and this one's offered. And then the bundle comes also with this stamp set, which is just a great stamp set. So we've got that. So we've got this star cut out of basic white. And then I took a piece of 3x3 gold foil. Now you could use the brushed metallic as well. And what I did is I took a piece of adhesive sheet. Now our adhesive sheets come 6x12s, and I just cut a piece down. And what I did was I put, this will all be done for you, but I fastened an adhesive sheet on the back so that if you get the kit, oh, that was already ready to peel, and I didn't even realize that. Okay, there we go. Use that as a handle, and I just fasten adhesive sheets on the back, making sure not to go over the edges. And then I ran it through with the die and came out with this. So when you get yours, if you get the kit, there will be an adhesive backing on here, and we will peel that off. So that's also going to be in your envelope. You will also get this little linen bow here, and as well as these little gems. I was right out of the Wonderful Gems, so these are from the Genial, but either the Genial or Wonderful Gems would work here. So let's build the card. So first off, I'm going to do my stamping. Let's put that down so I don't lose it. And I'm going to bring in the Noel. That's from that stamp set. Now this is photopolymer, so I like to put it on a cushion of some sort. And this is actually from the Stamparatus. This is, you can buy it without this grid on it or with. So I've got the grid one. So I'm going to just add that as a cushion. I'll get a better impression from my photopolymer stamp, my clear stamps. So I'm going to put it down here. I'll just share why I'm doing that. Grab one of these stars because I want the star to go over here. All right, so I'm putting this here. Now you could use whatever stamps you want and create it that way, but we'll do it like that. So now I'm just going to add adhesive to the back of that. There we go. I can tuck that out of the way for now and bring this in and just center it. So this is going end to end is even. And so there's just a border top and bottom. Now I could have used gold here, and I could have embossed that in gold. That would be another way of stepping it up. But I just wanted to show how this could go. I could have also cut this out of Sahara sand and made it a little more rustic looking. So you can take it different ways. Then I'm going to bring in this layer here. Now you would not have to emboss that. I chose to just because, well, I'm in love with embossing folders, right? So again, we're going to just fasten this element right on here. I'm going to see if I can get it straight. There we go. The reason I'm picking it up is I am working through a camera. Otherwise, you would have my head in between, and that would not be an attractive look. So there, we've got it like that, and we're just going to fasten that onto the card front. Now you could use dimensionals. I'm not going to today. I'm just going to make it flat. Sometimes when you've done some of these 3D embossing, they are a little bit flimsier. So on this one, I chose to just go like that. Now, some of you like a different colored layer in there, so you would just cut this down 1/4 of an inch or 1/8 of an inch and go like that. So now we've got it looking like that, and we're going to bring in these elements. So I'm going to tuck that to the side, and I'm going to layer this on to here. Now remember, I've already put adhesive on here, the adhesive sheets, so I'm just bringing in my take your pick tool and peeling that off. This is so easy compared to trying to dab little dots of glue all over the place. How tall is the piece with the sentiment? Do you know what? Where did I put my ruler? Well, let's bring this in. I usually have my ruler handy here. That piece, I think, is 1 3/4. Let me see. It is 1 1/2, and the Sahara sand is 1 3/4. There we go. So now we've got all the backing peeled off. And remember, sometimes I use 2 pieces of adhesive on the back, so just make sure it's going to be sticky all over if you're working with the kit. And if you just gently rest it, it will be repositionable. So I am resting it there, making sure I've got my edges fairly even, and then sticking it down, pressing it down. I forgot to close my ink, and I'm going to do that right now. So now I am going to put this on dimensionals, and I'll use, I'll just scatter about 3 here. I find if I use just 1 dimensional, it kind of gets wobbly. So it's sort of like the 3-legged stool, right? This just makes it a little more secure, I guess. So arrange it on your card however you want. So I think that's going to look just fine. It could be a smidge higher perhaps, and I can switch that because I just rested it. I didn't smash it down. Sometimes I'm a little too fast to smash things down. There we go. There, we've got that. Now we're going to bring in our little linen thread bow, and the mini glue dot is how I like to fasten that on, but it is too big. So I kind of roll it between my fingers to make it long and skinny and put the glue dot behind there. And if it seems like it's going to stick out, I just play with it a bit and then stick it wherever you like. Sometimes, and I forgot to do, I should have done it before fastened to the card, but you'll notice that this one here, there's a little bit of gentle fold or bend to this, and this is just hanging. If you want to do that, hang on to the knot and gently pull it through your bone folder, and it will just add a little gentle curl. If you do it more, you get more of a curl. So it would be whatever look you're going for there. And now we're going to add some embellishments because, you know, you have to have some embellishments, right? I love the little bit of bling on a card. And I'm sorry if I'm not answering any of your comments because I tend to get very distracted and lose my train of thought, and I have 4 cards to get through. So I will come back and answer any questions later, but I'm so glad you're here. Now, that might be a little crowded. I think this card, I'm going to put it down there. And so there it goes like that. Now, if you were making this at home, you could also, remember, emboss your envelope flap as well. That would be an option. So that is card number 1. So I'm seeing some people enjoying that card. I am so glad. Now let's take this stuff out of the way. Oh, I brought this in. I don't think it's an issue with this card, but if ever you find that some of your embellishments, when you put your card in an envelope, they want to poke through, make a little padding with some scrap paper and an embossing folder, and just put it over top, and then it doesn't poke through the envelope at all. So that's a really good little trick to know. So that was my little hint there. Oh, I've meant to show you the inside of the card too. So inside, I use the same stamp set and just stamped that inside. So that's a very quick and easy card there. Let's bring in the next one. Now you're going to find that some of these cards look familiar to you, and that's because I actually cased some cards that I have received in swaps or from other demonstrators. And you might remember that I showed you this card that I received from Karen Yeomans, and she used the glimmer paper there. Well, I cased this card for this next card. So it is this one here. It uses the green foil paper, and I will show you how to put words on here too, but we'll just look at what's in the envelope first and take it from there. So I noticed Karen's on here today. So once again, Karen, thank you so much for sharing that card with me. All right, here is card number 2. So the card base is 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 5 1/2, so scored in the middle, just like that. And we'll use our bone folder and do it like that. And then the gold foil, I cut a layer here, and I don't wish I knew what I had done with my ruler. And I have the handout somewhere too, but I don't know where I put that. So anyway, this is 3 3/4 by 5. So you'll notice that I cut the center out. And how I did that is I slid it into my paper trimmer, and then I start about 3/4 of an inch in, and I line it up 3/4 there, and I just keep going around. And why did I do that? Well, this foil paper is like gold to me, and I wanted to get maximum usage out of it. And then the piece that I cut out, I actually used this from that. So that was my thinking behind that. So I've got that layer. Then I've got this layer here that is just 1/4 of an inch smaller and just fits there. And I have embossed that, but I'm going to talk about that in a minute. Then I have a piece that I die cut from the Stitched So Sweetly dies. So it is this one right here. So not the smallest, not the second smallest, it's the third smallest one from the center. All right, so I did that. And then this is cut just to layer on there like that. And then I have a piece here that we're going to punch out. So there we go. We've got that. And I've also got some more adhesive sheet and a little embellishment and some trim and something to show you an alternative. So let's punch those trees out to begin with, since I've got this in my hand. So I put adhesive sheets on the back again. Now, the trees definitely could handle glue, liquid glue or seal or whatever, but I don't like using liquid glue on foil. You can see I got a dab there, and you're never going to get it off. So I am very cautious with liquid glue and foil. So I'm going to bring in the Evergreen Border Punch. This is from the annual catalog. Now, when you're using a punch like this, you're going to slide it right down so it rests on that little ledge, and then you're just going to punch, and you can keep going. I only need one section, but I'll show you how to keep going. Let's see, let's put this about here, and I find it much easier to put it on a hard surface, but make sure that's snug down on that little ledge and punch. Then you've got it looking like that. Now I'm just going to slide it along and line it up with these designs on either side, and when you've got it matched up, punch again, and you can just keep going and create a border as long as you want, as long as you've got paper actually, but we only need 1, 2, 3, 4 here. Now I noticed when Karen did this, she kind of rounded the edges a little bit to make them not quite so harsh looking, and There, we've got that like that. Now, if you are just trying to recreate this card at home and don't have that punch, you might find something else to put in here. So while we've got this here, why don't we peel off the adhesive backing and stick it to the foil. And it was in 2 pieces, the adhesive backing, so I just have to get the other side started as well. There we go. And I'm going to just copy this card right here. Not going to get any more creative like that. Now I want to fasten it to this piece right here, and I'm actually going to use my seal. You know I love my liquid glue, but I am going to use seal just because I don't want to risk getting liquid glue on that foil. So there we go, and we'll get it centered. It just is cut to fit right inside those stitch lines. So there it is, looking like that. So we're going to put that aside right now and bring in this. So what I will have done already, and what I will do if you get the kit, is I've already used the Timber 3D embossing folder. And one thing to remember when you're doing the 3D embossing folders, it's a good idea to have the specialty plate number 4 because it makes them work beautifully. Otherwise, you don't get that nice deep impression. Now, you might be saying, Lillian, there's no writing on this card, no greeting. So you can do a couple of things. Before you emboss, you could stamp your Merry Christmas on here and then emboss, and that would work beautifully. If you're getting the kit and it's already embossed, it's really tough to stamp on that. So if you want to add a greeting, here is an option. You can take this piece of paper here, and I will have it included, and you can stamp your Merry Christmas or your greeting on there and add it to the bottom of the card and place it just wherever you want. So that's an option, or you can stamp your Merry Christmas inside. So the ink I used to go with this gold foil is I chose Shaded Spruce, just because it seemed to go the best. I'm not so sure, but the green foil, let me grab another ruler. This is driving me crazy here. The green foil is 2 3/8 by 1 1/4. So Karen's right. Just measure the inside of the white label and cut it so it's a bit smaller. So thanks, Karen. That's exactly what I did too, and I'm sure that's what you did. So let's start to assemble this card. We want to put, I'm knocking things over. We'll switch it around. We want to put this on here, and again, I'm going to use glue dots in the corner. So I'll put one in this corner, and this is just a personal preference. Other people will be fine with other adhesives. This is just how I like to do it, and here and here. Did I get all 4 corners? I did. Now I could bring in my Seal Plus and add a bit here. This Seal, pardon me, not Seal Plus. And just add a bit there, but concentrating on using the dry adhesive is what I'm doing. And I'm going to center this on here. I just love this green foil. I actually wasn't sure how to use it and then love how it worked on this card. Now I can use my liquid glue or whatever adhesive you want. There we go, and put it to the card front. Like that. And already it's looking so elegant. Now this is going to go on dimensionals, but before I do, I'm going to add a bit of my seal here, just checking to make sure I'm getting the right side, and bring in my cord. It's the Simply Elegant trim. It comes in silver and gold, and I'm just going to make a couple of loops. So you can trim it off, or you can do whatever you want. This is looking a little different than my own one, my first one, which is often the case. I'm going to slide it over. Because I used seal, I can pull it off and rearrange it to my heart's content. There, that looks pretty good. I'm just going to snip this off like that. And now I'm ready to put my dimensionals on and put it here. So what I'm going to do with my dimensionals is I'm going to use them to help hold that in place. But how I'm going to do that, I'm even going to cut a strip off the edge. And so I have the long skinny dimensionals and just run it like that. So it just I'm making sure that that's in place. There we go. Likely don't need any more, but you know, I love my dimensionals. There we go. I'm just going to place this, sort of center it in the upper portion. And let's see, like that. And then we've got that one little lone rhinestone, and it just finishes the card off, I think, and we'll put it right there. Now, if you did not put a greeting on the front, you could always put it on the inside, and let's just do that. This greeting is from the Evergreen Elegance stamp set, and it comes as a bundle with that punch. So kind of neat. And that is in the annual catalog. So we'll ink that up with shaded spruce and put Merry Christmas on the inside. And remember, if you ever get things crooked on the inside or catch an edge, you can always put a layer in there, right? So there is that beautiful Merry Christmas, and there is card number 2. So let's bring in a card number 3. Whoops, I forgot to move card number 2 stuff out of the way. So card number 3 is also a card that you have seen before. And it was from my friend Joanne. And so it is this card right here. I'm going to use different words here, but I'm just going to show you how I went about it. So a lot of you enjoy the designer paper. That is gorgeous, but you're not too sure how to do this kind of thing. So what I did for this card is I just cut a 4 by 5 1/4 piece out of here. And gorgeous paper. So let's look at the kit. So that would be in your kit as well. So when you empty the envelope, you have your card base, which is basic black, like that. It's just your traditional size. So 5 1/2 by 8 1/2, scored at 4 1/4. And then you will have this, which is going to layer on top of here. This piece here is for your inside, and so is this piece for your inside. Now remember, you can also decorate your envelopes with your designer paper too. Then you've got some ribbon and some rhinestones. So let's get started here. I'm going to run some seal down the back of this side here. Get my fingers out of it, and I'm going to first off use my ribbon. So this is the glittery organdy ribbon from the mini catalog, and I'm going to layer my ribbon. If you can see here how I layered it like that. So I'm getting this in position first. And I'm going to bring this in because it's sticky on the bottom. Now I'm going to bring in just a glue dot to hold that ribbon in place. You could run your seal along it as well. So just somewhere on that ribbon to hold it in place. And pull it nicely. There we go. We've got it like that. Now we're going to add this piece of ribbon, and this time I'm going to add a glue dot because I'm going to be layering it on top of the other ribbon, and I might as well add a glue dot here as well. So when I do this, what works for me, now you will find you do it however you like. Because I want it to be slightly smaller, I'm going to line it up on the ribbon like this, so I get it in position there, and now wrap this one around like that. And there we go. We've got our ribbon layered on the card, just like that. So now I'm going to bring in my card base, and this is going to go on top of the card base. And it's sticky already, right? Because I ran some seal, pardon me. There's a flashback. So I'm going to add my adhesive there. Bring this in. Layer it on. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? I bet you're all saying, Lillian, Lillian, Lillian. We need the stamping, and I usually like to do the stamping first. Well, I'm going to live dangerously here right now. For this card, I decided to use the set For Unto Us because I really liked how the Merry Christmas looked right in here. So we'll bring in For Unto Us. One of the things I like about that stamp set as well is it has things for the outside of your card and for the inside of the card, and has beautiful, beautiful fonts. So let's see if I can get this in a good spot. I'm going to put it right there, and I hope and pray I've got it straight. Hey, whoo, I do. So there we go. Phew, there. So now we've got it looking like that, and we're just going to add a few of the rhinestones. Just scatter them wherever it feels like the stars in the winter sky might go. I'm going to put one of them right on the ribbon, right there, to make it look like I've anchored it down there. Whoops, and I'm going to shoot one across my desk. There we go. And sure, we'll put one there. Often I put my embellishments grouped close together, but that seems to work. Now you're saying, what about this stuff here, Lillian? Well, you can use your scrap paper, and you can decorate the inside of your card as well. You know what? I also have a verse from that same stamp set. So let's finish this card right off. And I'm going to stamp first in case I have to use the other side. There we go. Beautiful font. Then I'm bringing in a scrap. Now this is a scrap from this paper, but I'm going to use the other side. I could use this side. Well, actually, I like that. Maybe I'll go with that side. Change of plans. So I'm going to just fasten that down. I could have layered it on black as well, but my goal today was to keep things relatively simple, but you could definitely step it up by layering that on a slim piece of black. So there we've got it like that. We'll just flip it over. Oh, I already had it stamped. Sometimes I forget that I actually plan these things ahead of time. Oh well. It's a well-stamped piece of paper, right? There we go. Now black on black. There we go. There. So there is card number 3. The black and white ribbon would look nice. Ooh, it would. Yes, that ribbon would look very nice inside. So there we go with that. So let's clear that out of the way. And we are already moving on to card number 4. So card number 4, where's the kit here? Oh, here's my ruler. Found my ruler. I had it tucked in with card number 4. All right. Yes, I love the black and white gingham ribbon, Lynn, too. And it was on back order forever, but I think it is now back in stock. So, uh, so here is card number 4. Now, I have it a couple of different ways right off the bat here. Card number 4, you can actually stamp right on the embossed layer like this, or so I wanted to show that to you, or you can layer it up because there is a panel and go like that. So I'm going to show that to you as we go. And so when you get your kit, when you empty out your envelope, you will have this embossed layer here. And you will have the card base, which is 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 5.5. This layer right here uses the Merriest Frames hybrid embossing folder. Now, I did a whole video on this, so I will put the link in the handout. I also will put the link on this video afterwards. So you're going to just layer those two on there. Again, if you want a color in between, you can step it up by just trimming this down and adding another color in between there. So I'm using Highland Heather right now, but easy to change that up. So why don't we just fasten that down right now? Because I'm not going to stamp the center this time. I'm actually going to do the stamping on the raised piece. So let's fasten that down right like that. Now, if some of you didn't see my previous video, this is a really neat die and embossing folder set. So it's called the Merriest Frames Dies, and it has this embossing folder, and they work together, and I would suggest you watch the video. But there's also a piece in here that cuts out the center. So that's what I used to cut out this center right here. So there we go. I'm going to bring in Highland Heather because I know that some of you love your purple, especially in Christmas cards. And so I'm going to, again, this is photopolymer, so I will bring in a foam piece to stamp on. And I used for my words, let me just show you. I love some of the words in the Poinsettia Petals stamp set, but there, if you get the bundle that goes with this, is Merriest Moments, and they all fit in there beautifully too. So, or you can use whatever words you happen to have. That was my purpose here, that you would be able to use whatever Christmas stamps you happen to have. So let's stamp that down, give it a moment to transfer, and there we go. So we've got that done. Now in your kit, let's move some of this out of the way. You will have some ribbon like this, and what I did with that is I would just cut it. Let's bring in this little one right here. And I decided it would look really neat. Now, you don't have to do that, but you can add a little interest to your card before you fasten this down. So I'm going to bring in my glue dots. Here we go. Just fasten those two together so that they're easier to use. There we go. Now I will add I put the glue dot on the wrong side. We can fix that. We can have glue dots on both sides, no worries. And then we're just going to see how I like them like that. There we go. Now I am going to put this on dimensionals, likely 4. And fasten it to the center of the card. Let's move that out of the way. Again, I'm just resting it till I get it where I want it. Like that. And then you can add embellishments. Where did my take your pick tool go? There we go. I wish you could see what kind of mess I end up with here. So I'm going to just add, these are the in color jewels. So I'm actually using the Fresh Freesia ribbon and the Fresh Freesia, try saying that fast, jewels, but they go with the Highland Heather very nicely, I think. And so you've got it looking like that. And what did I do on the inside? I left the inside to your choice. How's that? So there is that one right there. Now, if you are curious, when I did the video, I showed one like this. So just stamping like that. Then I showed how to step it up and put color behind it and do embossing. So again, it's still using just the embossing. Then it also will cut out. So I showed this, and then I stepped it even more and showed this one. So do check out that video. I will put the link in the description of this video so that you can check that out some more. So the cards that we made, Misty Moonlight. Ooh, yes, Lynn, that would look fabulous. So there's card number 4. Let's see if I can count backwards, right? Card number 3, card number 2, and card number 1. So if you've enjoyed this, I ask that you please click share, or if you're on YouTube, subscribe, and let me know if you have clicked shared. Like in the comment section, just put the word shared, and I am going to, at Tuesday morning, next Tuesday morning, I am going to have a draw for these cards. So somebody is going to receive these cards in the mail. So if you're on Facebook, if you've shared it, please put in the comment section shared. If you're on YouTube, please hit subscribe or leave me a comment, and I will put your name in the draw, and somebody will receive these. Now, how do you receive the kits? I know that some of you are asking that. You receive the kits. I will mail the kits to you if you place an order of $45 or more in before Monday night. So before midnight Monday night. So at the end of the day Monday, then you will have earned these. Otherwise, you've had these ideas. You can play with them and use them as you would like. And let me just check here to see if I've missed anything. If you would like more of these classes, would leave me a comment and let me know that, because I have tons of ideas floating around in my head. And if you think this is a beneficial kind of thing, please let me know. Oh, and of course, when you're ordering online, please use the hostess code right here. And this is where you will find my online store, or you can contact me and I can place the order for you. So I think I have covered everything. I think that's it. Just remember to share or leave a comment on YouTube, and we will see who earns or wins these cards right here. So thanks for joining me today. Take care. Bye-bye.